Pennsylvania's election law requires voters to date the outer envelope when voting by mail. If there is not a handwritten date, the ballot under current law can be thrown out. However, some say tossing the updated ballots restricts voting rights. It's been the subject of several court decisions, including a major one by the U.S. Supreme Court yesterday. Erie News Now state capitol correspondent Brendan Scanlon has been following these latest developments. He joins us live. Brendan, what can you tell us tonight?
Hey there, Mike. Good evening. Well, it seems there are more questions than answers on whether undated ballots can or should be counted. It's a debate that has the Wolf administration and Republicans split and now providing their own interpretation of what yesterday's SCOUTUS ruling means for November 8th.
The language is clear in the election code that the ballots need to be dated.
House Republican caucus spokesperson Jason Gottesman says Tuesday's Supreme Court decision to vacate a lower court ruling aligns with the state's election code.
What the Supreme Court opinion does is now open this up to fresh judicial interpretation.
The now vacated ruling was the result of a federal appeals court decision to side with a judicial candidate in Lehigh County and stated that ballots without a handwritten date on the outer envelope should still be counted. Shortly after that ruling, former GOP Senate candidate Dave McCormick filed suit in Pennsylvania's Commonwealth Court to include undated ballots in his tight race with Mehmet Oz. The court ultimately ruled in McCormick's favor. Yesterday, in response to the SCOUTUS decision, Acting Secretary of State Lee Chapman cited McCormick's case and said in part, quote, every county is expected to include undated ballots in their official returns for the November 8th election. She went on to say today's order from the U.S. Supreme Court vacating the Third Circuit's decision on mootness grounds was not based on the merits of the issue and does not affect the prior decision of Commonwealth Court in any way.
It is our expectation that counties follow the guidance and directives issued by the department.
Chapman and the Department of State are advising counties to count the ballots, but Gottesman says it's a decision ultimately up to the counties themselves.
You got to remember, the Department of State guidance is just guidance. It's not a mandate. It's up to the counties to decide what they're going to do with counting ballots.
And Mike, it's obviously a complex issue and a complex sequence of events that we were just talking about there. But the bottom line is, at this point, Secretary Chapman and the Wolf administration are advising county officials to proceed with the counting of undated ballots. Whether or not that will change could be determined with additional litigation in the coming weeks. Reporting live at the state capitol for Erie News Now, I'm Brendan Scanlon.